Hi there. We did a little introduction to Draft2Digital the other day, and this is going to be basically how to get an account, get signed in, get logged in, quickly set it up so that you can start publishing your books as wide as possible. Get them out to as many retailers as you can. So pretty straightforward, shouldn't take us very long, and let's hop on over. Right then, this is Draft2Digital's homepage. If you haven't got an account already, you'll just need to hit sign up. And you're literally going to put in your first and last name. Now these again need to be your real name. And then you can choose to have a default pen name. So if you always write under the same name, that's fine. Now, you'll then need email address, password, usual things, sign up to say you're not a robot. Now I'm already a member, so I'm just going to log back in, and we'll be back in 1 second. Okay, once you're signed up or signed in, you'll see your list of books, which of course will be empty. Now, we can go ahead and add a book straight away, but what I will suggest is you go into the account, double check your account settings, and you probably want to set up two-factor authentication just for security. Now obviously this is going to have a connection to your bank details. It should only be able to pay in, but you don't necessarily want somebody else doing that. And if you've got two-factor authentication, it means that if somebody does manage to guess your password, they still won't be able to get in and mess with your books. So that's worth doing. I've already set that up. Now, there's all sorts of advanced options and things like that, but probably the most important thing is payment options. So, this is fairly straightforward. They offer checks if you're particularly keen on that, or PayPal, direct deposit, and pay in ear. So you can choose whatever you like. I'm going to go with PayPal. It's just simpler. I'll put the threshold in as 0, so it'll pay me whenever I have anything, and then we'll put in the PayPal address. You also need to put in your legal name, or your company name if you're using a company. So, in my case, pretty obvious. Doing business as name. This is all to do if you're filing as a limited liability company in the US, or a pen name if you're filing as an individual. If you're not sure, you will need to get some legal advice on this, but chances are you can just leave this blank. Pick your country, and then pop in your address details, and then your PayPal. Now I'm obviously going to skip showing you all of this. I don't want to give myself all my documents away, but we'll come back to that once it's all filled in. I have submitted all of my tax information. If I go to payment options, again I'm going to need to blur this out, but it's telling me that I've got valid tax info on file. And my withholding rate is 0%, so what that means is I'm not paying US taxes, which I shouldn't be. I'm in the UK. It's up to me to figure out how much tax I owe in the UK, and that will be done. So now we can get on to my books. So let's add a new book. We can do an ebook or a print book. As I've said before, we're only going to focus on ebooks for now. I'm using a different thing for print books, but it is optional. Start an ebook, and then we can put in all of the information that we need. So, cover art. Okay, we're going with Return of the Martians. This is my cover art. Upload. That's come up okay. The Return of the Martians. Series. Add a new series. Martians Return. That's me. It's volume number 1. Search terms are keywords. So these are various things that you will want to put in order to get discovered. So in my case, science fiction, historical, alien invasion. I'll just pop 3 in for now, but that's good. It's not something that is inappropriate for minors. It's aimed at adults, however you wish to pronounce it. It's aimed at grown-ups, but it isn't inappropriate for minors, so that's sensible. And we're going to go into fiction. Actually, if we filter, we have science fiction. fiction, science fiction, it's post-apocalyptic, it's general, and alien contact, action and adventure. So that's the things I'm going to pick up. I'm not going to say military because it isn't a military book, and then we'll start the ebook. Upload the final manuscript. Now, you can choose, as I've said before, you can upload a Word document and have them format it for you. In my case, when it eventually wakes up, I'm going to pick the Epub. Ebook release date. Now, this was actually done a while ago. So, I happen to remember that it was the 1st of March 2022. We've got a description of it. Now, I've already prepared one, so here we are. Paste that in. You can use formatting, break it up a bit. There we go. And an optional short description. If left blank, a shortened version of your ebook description will be shown. Right. Is this a collection? No, it's not. I don't have a paid collaborator or a non-author contributor. Now, obviously, if you were doing an anthology, a collection of short stories by various authors, you would need to put this here, and you can arrange that Draft2Digital will automatically pay them for you. Or non-author contributors, such as illustrators, editors, somebody you need to acknowledge or give credit to. Now, I'm going to use my own ebook ISBN, and I don't think that's in this file. Yes, it is. Right. There we are. Now, again, you can use a free Draft2Digital ISBN. They will then just show up as the publisher. I'm using my own so that this ties in with the ones I've put on other sites. If you're not sure, you can just click, give me a free one. It doesn't mean that they take any extra money or anything like that. Right. Layout. That's a nice Epub 3 you got there. And that sounds a little threatening. Be a shame if anything happened to it. But no, they're just letting us know because I've produced it myself. That's fine. But if you use the formatting on the source manuscript, and there will be a video for that, it'll automatically let you fill things in, and you only then have to do it once. So you'll fill in an about the author page within Draft2Digital, and they'll format it and put that in every book for you. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save and preview. Continue. I still love the Epub. That's nice. Again, they're warning me that I can't take advantage of their fancy things. That's fine. So we do want to download a preview. So let's download the Epub. It seems silly because I've just uploaded it and now I'm downloading it, but I'm making sure that they haven't messed something up as part of the process. So I'm going to open it in Apple Docs. Now it's cut off for you because I'm recording just a part of my screen, but I can see I've got my chapters, I've got my text, I've got my drop caps. This looks exactly as I'm expecting it to. Happy with that. So I have reviewed the manuscript. Now obviously you want to be a bit more careful, go through every page, make sure they haven't screwed something up. But I'm happy enough that this is fine. So we hit save and continue. And we're into the publish step. So we can choose the digital book price in US dollars. Now, I've already set this. It's $2.99 in US dollars. Again, if you're publishing on Amazon, they insist that they are, if not the cheapest, then equal to the cheapest. You can't sell it on Amazon for $5 and then sell it on your own website or Barnes & Noble for $2, for example. So we're going to just do that. Now we can also manage territorial prices and go automatically. Now in my case, British pounds, $1.99, because that's again something I'm specifically doing. The rest of the stores, it will pick automatically based on that. So apply territories. Digital stores we want to turn on. So here's where we go. So Barnes & Noble, I'm not selling it already. Kobo, Apple I've already got. And I don't want to select Amazon. It actually warns me here. don't select Amazon distribution if your book is already available in digital form at Amazon, which it is. So I'm not going to select it. But all these others I'm fine with. Again, I've already done it on Apple. Subscription services, yeah, happy with Everand. Kobo Plus, absolutely. Now, Kobo Plus is a subscription service, so your royalties are a bit weird, but it's definitely worth doing because a lot of people are using it. And again, you can see the reach you get around the world. This is separate from Kobo. Just to be clear, Kobo here is purchasing a book. So if someone buys your book at the price you've selected and you get a cut. This is a subscription service, kind of like Kindle Unlimited, where you get a chunk of a pot of money. Worth doing. It's free money, basically. Library prices can be different. So they can either do a cost per checkout or a one copy, one user. So let's activate this. They have an option. What some of them will do is one copy, one user. So they will buy perhaps just one copy of your book, and then they can lend that to one person at a time, and they will keep lending it to people one by one by one by one, and you only get paid the first time. Kind of like if they bought a physical copy of your book and lent it out to people. That's that sort of model. And that's absolutely fine. That's why you set the price a little higher. Obviously, it's nicer if you get paid every time somebody takes it out, and some of them do offer that option. Obviously, they will pay you a lot less. But if 10 people borrow it, I'm already on double what I would have got for the one copy. Now again, if your book's exceptionally popular and there's a long queue of people wanting to check it, they might buy more than one, in which case, fantastic, you're getting more money. I wouldn't worry too much about what you do or don't set up. Take what they like, remember the preferences, and submit. Now, I am the original creator, or I have secured the rights, or it's public domain. In my case, I'm the original creator. Obviously, if you're doing this on behalf of somebody else, you would tick the second box, and if it's a public domain book that you're perhaps enhancing in some way to make it more valuable to people, you would have to say it's public domain. I confirm I have all the rights necessary to make the content, cover image, and all other data provided by me available for marketing, distribution, and sale, and you've read the terms of service. Do please read the terms of service. I can't go over them all here. You have to agree to them in order to use it, but that's fine. And with cover image, again, do make sure that you've got the rights to any image you're using. Publish my book. Here we are, success. Currently being published. Now, it'll take a little while. They're suggesting I do a print book. Certainly an option. But again, I'm not going to do that. And audiobooks, they recommend Findaway Voices. All well and good. For now, see the ebook details. It's given me a universal book link already with books to read. I don't even have to set that up. And here are the details. Now, it's currently publishing. Hoopla is warning of long processing times. These are the current dates. We'll see when they actually show up. Now, I can very quickly change the price. Again, you can't do that if you're using things on Amazon, but this is really handy. If you're on all of these stores, you can't imagine having to go around them all one by one. You can download the file yourself in any format. Epub is usually the one to go for. Even Amazon now no longer use Mobi, but it's available for legacy reasons. And PDF, this will be an automatic attempt at transferring it, and it won't be great, but it's, hey, better than nothing. And you can delist it if you've decided, oops, no, don't want it after all. So we'll come back at some point, maybe in a day or so. I'll have to let you know how long that takes. Now, we can also look at reports. Obviously, there'll be very little here now. Good news, Kobo Plus has expanded. I think we already selected all of these. It's just warning me now that if I had a book already set up, this won't be included. So we've got a couple of things. We can add my book to all the Kobo Plus territories. Don't bother me again, I'm all in. I want my books currently enrolled in Kobo Plus in all future territories. So if they add a country that's not on this list, I don't know where they might add, but they might. This will automatically add me if that happens. Plus add my books to the Kobo Plus territories. Done. Last month, obviously, none sold. This month, so far, none sold. Not surprising, I didn't have a book until about a minute. But then it will give you a nice big simple number that shows you exactly what you need. You can also see which books are popular. You can link up to mailing lists, and you can download raw sales data, account ledgers, tax forms, anything you might need for your accountant if you have one. But for now, we've got a book. It's publishing, and all of these are greyed out telling me that they're not available yet, which is fine. That's going to happen. So I'm going to add my next book, and we'll come back in a little while and see how things are looking. All right, it's actually the next day, but within a couple of hours of publishing or uploading these books and hitting the publish button, I started to get emails from Draft2Digital letting me know that certain sites had accepted it and were starting to publicise it. It's tricky to see on here. Some of these are a bit darker than others, but don't worry about that. What we'll do is we'll click on the book itself. We're just looking at ebooks, and you can see here the list of sites to which it has already been published. So it's gone through a few of these. It'll give you the date when it went live as well. As you can see, some of these were the 6th, which was the date I actually uploaded it. Some are the 7th, which is today as I record this, the next day. And some are still outstanding. They either need to do extra checks or they just don't turn it around within a couple of hours. Hoopla, in fact, they're warning me it has long processing times. These two are the library ones. They're probably the most important to me. And Kobo is quite useful as well. So yeah, there we are. It's available on a number of sites, and this universal book link, Books to Read, which I mentioned in the introduction, this is one of the services Draft2Digital offer. What it means is I give this link out to an end user, someone who might want to buy the book. I can stick it on social media, and then they can pick and choose which platform they want to buy it on. Now, I didn't ask Draft2Digital to produce this, they do this automatically, but what is an issue is that it doesn't have Apple Books and it doesn't have Amazon on there at the moment. We can fix that. We can add additional stores down here. But what I'll do is I'll save that for when we do an actual video on Books to Read and Universal Book Links. Because you see it's got user-provided links, and then we can hit rescan. But again, I'll cover that in another video. For now, it's useful just to know that this platform exists, and it's a very, very handy way of giving a single link out to everybody anywhere in the world and letting them decide where they buy your book. So that's it for the introduction to Draft2Digital. I'm going to keep getting emails over the next few days as this publishing works its way through the system. But otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. What I will do is another video later on with more information about Books to Read, which is the universal book links that I just showed you. And I'll also do one about the formatting. It's not something I use myself, but I know a lot of authors do use it. So that's definitely something I'd like to highlight. And obviously their publishing system is kind of geared around that as well. But as you saw, you can upload just a simple Epub, all nice and easy. All right, so hit subscribe and you'll see those new videos when they're ready. And why not check out some of my books? There's links downstairs. All right, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.